What's good, YouTube? This is Slick Talk and I'm back with another video. So I was sent a video to react to. Let's get into it.
8 million people are living with HIV in South Africa and approximately 6.2 million are on antiretroviral treatment. These figures were released earlier this year by the Tembisa model. As the world commemorates World AIDS Day today, we'll look back at the progress made in medical research to understand the disease and increase life expectancy of those living with the disease. South African National AIDS Council.
Shout out to all my alcohol drinkers out there. Leaving with a girl that you don't know from the club, unprotected, and then you wake up the next morning pretending like you don't know what actually happened when you were irresponsible from the get-go.
CEO Dr. Tembisa Lequlu joins us now for just a little bit more with this and the numbers. Doctor, this is an epidemic South Africa's faced for really decades now. But we're still sitting with a situation where 8 million people are living with HIV, 6.2 still on antiretroviral treatment. What would you say to these numbers, considering the fight that we had been raging against HIV and AIDS for such a long time in the country?
Good morning, Arabile, and you're absolutely correct. It's been 20 years since the government has been offering free antiretroviral therapy. But the truth of the matter that we see is that, for instance, when we experienced COVID, HIV sort of took a back seat, and we are still struggling to get people back on treatment. If you look at how we are measured as a country in terms of performance on treatment, it's what we call the 95, 95, 95. And the second
During COVID, everybody was having sex. That's what everybody was doing. Some of the focused ones, like myself, looked at COVID as an opportunity to make money. And I'm glad I took that opportunity with both hands, and I did.
95 is the worry, which looks at the number of people.
Crazy thing is, during COVID, when it started, I had 100 subscribers. And it took me 10 months to get to 100 subscribers. But then I looked at COVID and I said, here's my opportunity. I'm gonna make a name for myself, and I did that. I didn't cut my hair, didn't cut my beard. I just locked in.
And staying on treatment.
So
as you mentioned, only about 6.2 million people are on treatment, and we should have 8 million on treatment. And we are not there yet for multiple reasons. The situation around the funding in February didn't help because funding was pulled off. We lost some staff members, some community members that were funded to make sure that we bring people back onto care, back onto treatment. We're also not funded, and complexity.
Interesting stat that I found out, that the people who kind of like infect people the most when it comes to HIV, women affect the most people with HIV. Like, it's like women are the ones that deliver HIV the most. It was an interesting statistics. And then I thought about it and I said, if you're a guy to like make people sick and to infect people, you kind of need resources to do that, because not just any guy can sleep with a bunch of women and infect them. But when it comes to women, they can just make one phone call and a guy will pop up in the next 10 minutes to sleep with them. For a guy, it's different. You kind of have to you need resources, you need planning, go on dates, take them out, things like that. For a woman, it's just one call and then that's it. They make somebody sick.
Is related to the funding, related to issues like stigma, are actually contributing to us not being able to get people back on treatment, but also to get them
and for some reason as well, a lot of women see having protection as a red flag. If you're a guy and you have protection, a woman will hit you with the, oh, you came prepared, I see. You came prepared, I see. Or they don't like condoms. Some of them like to use that line. I don't like them. I don't like condom. It hurts me.
Stay on treatment.
Yeah, and I guess it becomes so tough now, because then the question mark is, much like the UN AIDS has been warning, do you think a looming HIV crisis could then be on the horizon, or
it's already on the horizon?
Would it take a lot more to get to that stage?
When you look at a situation like South Africa, I think if you look at the strategies, maybe if I can mention 2 or 3 just in the past medium to short term. Okay, firstly, our HIV...
One of the reasons why I don't partake in club culture is that thing of having unprotected with a girl that you don't know, and you're going to wake up the next morning angry at the world that you weren't responsible. I'm sorry, I don't partake in that culture. So I don't drink because I don't take those type of risks.
Response is primarily funded by government. So our situation is a bit different from a sustainability perspective because we have a sustainable program funded by the fiscus. So 90% of our patients actually get their treatment funded by the Department of Finance or Treasury. Secondly, just 2 weeks ago in the Free State, the minister launched what we call the 6 multi-month dispensing. And this is meant to make sure that once a patient is stable on antiretroviral therapy treatment, they don't have to come to the clinic every month, Arabile, miss work, stand in long queues. You get your 6 months worth of medication, which means you only come to the clinics twice a year. That will make sure that people take their treatment on time. And when you are on treatment and your viral load is suppressed, then you don't.
So every day people are using condoms less and less. And HIV is growing more and more. Damn.
I can't afford to pull up on my own, I need my soldiers. I can't